hi. It is, there it is, September 27th. And today's today's video is about, today's vlog is all about value. Value added. Extra value meal. So what does that mean? Alright, what I mean by value, more specifically, self-value. This year, 2016, has been a very intriguing year for me. It has been a year of self-exploration, unlike other years. And it has largely to do with meeting new people, having new experiences, and having the time set aside to kind of get in there and do a little investigatory work inside. So what I mean by knowing your self-worth, I'll give you a really good example. For the longest time, I would value myself largely upon how others would treat me. So by that I don't mean strangers necessarily. I mean people at work, employees, bosses, friends, family, who I was dating at the time. And I would assign my value, kind of unconsciously, or subconsciously, whatever, to myself based upon that. So if I was talked to negatively or was told of a problem, I would inherently make that my problem. Or I would, if someone was unfairly or unjustly criticizing me or saying, I didn't do something, or, was laying all their problems on me, I would tend to, A, I would want to fix their problems, but B, I would take that and I would, I guess, think of my value to them based on these interactions. So I know it's a little convoluted, but what I'm getting at is oftentimes if someone I knew who I was close to treated me in a manner that wasn't indicative of that friendship or relationship or whatever, I would immediately, no matter what the situation was, instead of reading into it if they had a bad day or that they were being unnecessarily temperamental or just simply unfair or illogical, I would just assign value to myself based on that. But that's not what you should do. And, maybe I was slow to learn this, but there have been times where people have done that and I have basically gotten really down on myself because of another person's treatment of me. And that sounds very vague and generic, and most people go, well, yeah, that's what everybody does. But I mean someone who you've been close to, a friend, a really good friend, a partner, somebody who you've worked with for years. Someone who shouldn't do that kind of stuff. If they really liked you, if they were really your friend, if they really loved you, shouldn't do those kinds of things, or say things, or not say things, or do things. And for the longest time, I would just roll with it in this kind of passenger seat mentality when it came to those kinds of relationships. And that is not a good way to go about that, because it leaves you feeling very unexpressed as a person. You don't, I guess out of fear of hurting someone's feelings, you don't often say exactly how you're feeling or how what they have done or said or not has affected you and how you feel. And that has just been the wrong way to go about things. Now, if you have the right people in your life, that's a rarity and you don't need to have those situations. But oftentimes when dealing with people, because they are the creatures that they are, you're going to come upon this. And I implore you that, especially the younger viewers, that don't hesitate to tell somebody how something makes you feel. Something they said, something they did, something they didn't do. And it doesn't have to be a confrontation, but just acknowledge it, because you have value and you are a person with feelings and emotions. And inherently, I hope that most of you are good people. The ones that suck, I don't really care about. The ones that suck, unfortunately in life, you're going to meet people that just flatly suck. You're going to fall in love with them. You're going to have them as friends. You're going to work for them. They're going to work for you. And with most people, there are redeeming qualities. But with some, they just suck as people. And they're going to suck forever. And it doesn't matter how much logic you throw at them or whatever. They're just going to be selfish, self-centered, immature people who will be an endless pit that you're going to keep trying to pour yourself into. And I just don't. Don't do it. No. Can't, won't. Hope is a great thing to have, but when it comes to people, very often it is ill-placed. And I largely think that you give someone some time and you try and help them through problems. That's key to being a good friend or what have you. A mentor, a leader, a partner. But if that person or persons doesn't ever reciprocate that to you in your life, don't proceed on. If they refuse to grow as a person, if they refuse to better themselves as a person, or even try and think of it, that's what to me, that's what life is. To me, part of life is going through it and trying to find your best self. Not just for you, but for other people that you will interact with in life. It's so that you can provide them with insight or a person to listen to, or someone who cares, or a distraction, so you can provide humor or love or compassion. And somewhere along the way, you will come across people who just do not live life like that. And that's their life, so fine, whatever, but it won't change very often. They will continue living in that capacity, and it's just never worth the time, in my experience. You're better off just casting them aside and saying, well, good luck, have a good life. You're useless to me, because you will not better mine. You will not improve my life. You will not add value to me as a person. You will not add joy and passion and excitement into my world. You will just simply largely detract from it. And every now and again you will have these little blips with these people wherein they give you a moment or a couple moments or some glint of those things, but they will never actually provide them in a concrete form, in a real tangible sense. And that's sad. That's really sad. That's a very sad existence. And I really hope that people watching understand that if you're living in a capacity wherein these people, you've surrounded yourself with some of these people, get rid of them. Get rid of them. And I say that from a place of love, but it's necessary for you to become your best self, for you to feel better, because these people oftentimes are anchors, and they are not the kind of anchors that are there for safety. They're the kind that just drag you down with them, and that's not what life is about at all. So anyway, have fun with that thought. Toodaloo. What the hell? What's it kind? Oh, it's very interesting. The clock, the recording clock, the seconds have fascinating. It's just fascinating.